and today I'm going to show you one imperial garden in Beijing. Okay, let's get started. So we can see over there, there's one white pagoda that was in the Tibetan Buddhism style pagoda. And in front of the pagoda, just in front of me, there's one archway. And you can see it's very complicated wooden structures holding the roof. We call it dogong brackets. And those kind of structure have several functions. The first real function is to support the roof, because even when there's an earthquake, and because the structure is very flexible, and they can absorb the vibration from the earthquake, so it's good for the earthquake, anti-earthquake. And the second is this is kind of hierarchy. That means common people's house were not allowed to use this kind of dogong brackets. And also it's a decoration. So we can have a closer look. And those are two characters on the top. That was gold-plated. It's called a jicui. That means accumulate jade. Sorry, I got a phone call. Okay. So jicui, that means accumulate jade. The cui means bright green color. So you can see those sorry. Anyway, no one in the watching the live stream, it's okay. So right here we can see in front of the bridge there's two lines guard the door, and this is the original stone carved line. So the female is always on the left, and also you can see under the pole that is a baby lion, it's a cow. And you look at the male on the right. Those garden was also burned down by the invaders in 1900. I mean, the Boxers' rebellion. The leg of the tiger is broken. People use the cement to fix it. And also on the left pole of this line, that is a bow. That means the emperor control, emperor of supreme power control the globe. This is a nail. And the white pagoda over there. And here is we call it a Tuancheng, the circled city. It's called the smallest castle in the world. Okay, and I'm gonna cross the archway and across the bridge and climb up to the man-made hill and have a close look of the white pagoda. And I will have a panoramic view of the nearby scenery. Okay. And this is a man-made lake. The river, all the water has come from the northwest of Beijing, because we have the spring water there, and also have a bigger reservoir, the Summer Palace. And did you see the green glazed tile behind the trees? Probably you can see, okay, that way. That is the roof. And those areas used to be one Catholic church, because in the early Qing dynasty, when the Emperor Kangxi became the ruler of China, he was really fascinating about the Western science. And there's a lot of missionaries from Europe come to China. They want preaching to China, and also they want to get a connection with the emperor, the royals. So they teach the emperor the Western science. Emperor really like the mathematics or physics. But one day when the emperor was sick, all the Chinese doctors they have no idea how to treat the. I think that epidemic disease is called. I don't know I forgot their English name, but it's. Chinese herbal medicine doesn't work, so the missionary offered the emperor quinine. So later the emperor was cured, and he was really thanked to the missionaries, and it's very close. The emperor was become a Christian, but because that is that is against the tradition, and also the ancestors. So the emperor wrote one few words for the Catholic Church. It's called 万有真源, the real source, the real source of everything. That means God. And he gave the missionary one piece of land over there. They built a Catholic church on that place. But later, in about 1850, and just before the Opium War, and the Chinese emperor, they tried to get rid of those foreign religions, especially before 1900, the Boxers' Rebellion, the Dragon Lady. They think this church over there is very close to this Imperial Garden here, and also Forbidden City that way. And they think it's not good for the privacy of the royal family. So they gave them a lot of money and moved the church further west. And also in 1900, when the Boxers' Rebellion, and the Boxers all gathered to Beijing, and they sieged the Embassy Street on the east of the Tiananmen Square, and also that Catholic church further west. About 3,000 Chinese believers take shelter in the church, and about 37 Italian soldiers guarded the church, and also with the missionaries, and they survived. And later, when the 8 Allied forces rescued Beijing, and the Boxers they have their revenge, retaliation. Okay, and we'll go cross the bridge, go to the mountain. So this is the Beihai Park in the north downtown Beijing, just adjacent to the Forbidden City. Today is a little bit hazy and not crowded. It's okay. You can see local retired people. They can get a free pass, come to the Imperial Garden every day, and that's nice. And you can see the weeping willow and the Wisteria's disposal. Okay, nice history and marvelous. Thank you. 谢谢. I'm thinking maybe because right now I think I will lose my job a few months later, and after that I will become a full-time YouTuber, or I will give live streaming teaching people Mandarin Chinese. Okay, that's my plan. And on this side you can see this is another archway opposite to the other side. So Chinese architecture, sometimes we emphasize on symmetry. So these two characters on the top is a 堆云 pile cloud. That means a pile cloud. And you can see there's a temple. And I'll take a look at the Wisterias, because you only see those flowers once a year. And this is a man-made river, or this man-made lake. Sometimes you just sit down inside the Chinese garden, and you just watch the flower and listen to the birds. And it's really an enjoyment. So nice. Another painting, traditional Chinese painting, we also like to paint the Wisterias. And you will see them in Summer Palace. I will go there a couple days later. Okay, I'll try to find a way, climb up to the hill. So this is a garden about 800 years ago, before before Mongolian Kublai Khan occupied Beijing, and there's a imperial garden right here, and that was called the Jin Dynasty. Jin means gold. So Jin Dynasty, that was set up by the Khitans, and they heard in Hong Kong there's airlines called the Cathay Pacific Airlines. So Cathay, that is the ancient name of China 800 years ago. You can see every tree in Beijing, if they have a red label on it, that means at least 300 years old. And green label, that means at least 150 years old. So we call them antique trees. And here you can see some rocks. We call them Taihu rock. They're from South China, in the biggest freshwater lake in Taihu Lake, because they were washed by lake water for 1,000 years. They have a hole on it. So those rocks are transported from South China to Central China, because over 1,000 years ago, the capital was in today's Kaifeng city. And the emperor, the last emperor of the Song dynasty, he's not a good emperor, but he is a great artist. And today, if you go to some museums, top museum in the world, and you can see some of the emperor's calligraphy and painting. And so the emperor, he ordered the local people in South China around the lake to contribute to the rocks as tax. He don't want rice for tax. He asked people contribute those rocks as tax and transport through the Grand Canal all the way to the capital in Central China. And he built gardens called the Genyue. All the rockery, the rock formation was made of this kind of rock. But he's not a good emperor. He only cared about his art and his taste. So later, the Khitans, they invaded from North China and occupied the city. So later, the capital was moved from Central China to Hangzhou, South China. And those Khitans, when they occupied their capital, and they burned down the palace, and they transported all these rocks to Beijing. And in this imperial garden, and they used the rockery to decorate the garden in Beijing. Okay, and we'll keep going. It's very pleasant because this is the spring, early summer, a little bit hot. And you can see there's a lot of holes on it. We call them 怪石, strange rock. And here is the yellow colored glazer tile. Only imperial buildings was allowed to use a bright yellow. And here is we call it a pavilion. Pavilion is Chinese, we call it 亭, 亭子, the same pronunciation and meaning as a stop. So this is a place where people would stop and rest. Or in ancient China, we built those pavilions every 5 miles, because sometimes when we see friends off, we will just go one by one to show our friendship. And there's another pavilion on the top, and you can see there's a different color of the rockery. And this is the Chinese garden. Chinese garden emphasized on 叠山离水, fold rockery and water management. And you can also see this one gargoyle when it's rained, the water will come out. Because this garden was very close to the Forbidden City. In the Forbidden City, on the north, there's one imperial garden, but that was not very pleasant. I mean, the garden, the palace have to be very serious. You know, it's rectangular shape, and even the pond was in rectangular shape, so not a very feel nature. So they built another imperial garden next to the Forbidden City. And also further northwest Beijing, 25 kilometers, they built the Summer Palace, which is much bigger than this. And here you have a feeling of the Chinese imperial garden. So every kind of garden in China, and only the temple garden, I mean Taoism temple or Buddhism temple, the garden was open to the public. But imperial garden or private garden, they're just private, belong to an owner. So it's not designed and built for the public. It's not a park. Even today, we call it the Beihai Park. That was originally it was a imperial garden. So this is a part of the Buddhism temple. So you can consider it also a garden temple. Okay, I'll try to find a way go up. If you have any question, just feel free to ask me. So today, you can see those steps was made of the stone. Oh, but this spot over, I would say 10,000 years ago, is the root of the river. So the mother river of Beijing is called the Yongding River in my hometown. But that was many years ago, and it goes through the downtown Beijing. But thousand years later, and they changed the route to the west. So sometimes the people say, all around the world, every capital or big city, there must be a river goes through the city. But Beijing, we don't have it. We don't have a big river goes through the city. But thousand years ago, there was the river. But in Beijing, we have, it's the end of the Grand Canal. So Grand Canal over 2,000 kilometers from Beijing all the way south to Hangzhou. So I hope one day I can go to that route. Okay, and here is the west side. And also you can see some man-made rockery, and this is connected to the river. Wow, koi. Koi is Japanese. In Chinese, we call them jinli. And right here, you can see over there have some wooden architecture, and here is a marble bridge. And even that marble bridge was zigzagged. Did you see that? And that is the idea of the ancient Chinese craftsman. You see from this way. They didn't just build a flat bridge or a straight bridge. They even made that bridge zigzag. Wow, I can feel the breeze. This is so nice. And also you can see over there, there's a dragon cruise boat coming this way. Nice garden. Right now belongs to the public. Everybody can come. Wow. because the Manchurian emperor, when they become the ruler and they visit South China very often, I mean the early emperors, they're really fascinating about the garden in South China. So sometimes they brought the painter and designer with them, or sometimes they sent the designers over there. They make the blueprint, and the emperor said he wanted the same garden in Beijing. So that's the reason why in Beijing we have an imperial garden and have the style of Chinese Southern China garden. Okay. And on the wall, those are original. You can see this kind of a character. This is opposite direction to another symbol. In China, this symbolizes 10,000 one. This is called 万字不到头. It's no ending of the 10,000 character. Just a kind of a decoration. Or sometimes you will see on the chest of the Buddha statue, there is one character of this. Because this section is less crowded, not the touristy part. It's very peaceful and nice. Another stone archway. So here's another Buddhism temple. I mean, part of the temple, but it's another hall. It's called Ling Guang Dian, the hall of shining glory. And on the other side of the bank, there's 5 pavilions. And I'll tell you a funny story later. So further that way, it's not clear. You can see there's 5 pavilions connected by a marble platform. So because of that, this is what we call the Wulong Ting, 5 dragon pavilions. It's connected by the marble platform. And I mentioned before, the Chinese emperor, they visit South China very often. And they not only sightseeing, having fun, but also see people's life. Especially when Manchurian become the ruler of China, a lot of Han people, 95 or more than 95% of people in China is a Han. I'm a Han. So Han people was really against the Manchurian because they were minority from northeast China, and later they become the ruler. And the Chinese Han people cannot accept that. So sometimes a lot of people want to rebel. So the Manchurian emperor, they try to, like the Mongolians, they try to use the Chinese Han culture to rule the Han people. So sometimes the emperor go to South China to comfort those intellectuals. Yeah. And also when they go to a city called Yangzhou, it's a beautiful, beautiful city in South China. Because in old China, the salt was controlled by the government. So the businessmen, they got license from the government so they can buy and sell the salt. They make a huge amount of money. So they have a very fancy life in Yangzhou. And they know when the emperor want to come to Yangzhou, they want to kiss ass of the emperor. So they, in their Yangzhou, they built another garden similar to this. They built 5 pavilions on a marble bridge, designed like that, because they bribe money to the eunuch. So the eunuchs would give the blueprint of that pavilion, and they designed and built the pavilion there. When the emperor arrived at the Yangzhou city, and he was surprised. He said, "Wow, this is similar to the 5 dragon pavilion in the imperial garden, and but the emperor said, "Oh, there's no white pagoda." He was disappointed, but you know how the ancient Chinese businessman kiss the eyes of the government or the emperor. So I mean, even today, if you want to have a good business, you make money, you have to have a good connection with the ruler, the superior. So overnight, the salt merchant asked the people use the salt to make a white pagoda. So the next day, the emperor, he come back and he found there's one pagoda that's made of white salt. He was surprised. So in China, if you make the emperor happy, you are happy. And we'll go to one small courtyard over there. Okay, and this is called the Yue Gu Lou. You can see the English translation, classics, reading cloister. Okay, whatever. Okay, it's free. And on the top, you can see beside 山西堂法帖石刻展览室. That means there's some exhibition of the called the rubbing from the Forbidden City. That was the emperor's favorite calligraphy. Okay, let's take a look. You can see over here. You can see some even European style. I mean, because those building was renovated later. You can see the ceiling. Oh, this is nice. This is like a compromise of the Chinese and the Western style. Because in the old day, on the wall here, all collected the emperor's favorite calligraphy rubbing. So this is another way, because I mean, this is not the original stone. This is just the rubbing of the stone. And this is the Chinese art, the highest level of the art in China, calligraphy. Lots of the characters I cannot recognize. This is a Yan, Yun, Jin, Tai, smoke, cloud, all over statues, maybe. Because the paper only lasts about 1,000 years. So in ancient China, about 1,000 years or 1,300 years ago, and the people started, or even further older than that, people started to write characters on the paper, and later they would carve the exactly same characters on stone, so the stone can last longer. And if you go to Xi'an, where the terracotta warriors, and there's one museum of all those famous Chinese tablets there. And I'm going to show you the most famous one in China. It's called Lan Ting Xu. I will try to do some translation. It's nice and courtyard. And those four characters are Cui Yong Hong Liu. Cui means bright green. Yong is like the water erupt from the earth. Hong is rainbow. Liu is the current flow. Reflection. Maybe this one. Okay, sorry, I cannot find it because the It all looks not easy to read. Okay, sometimes when I learn more about the Chinese calligraphy, I will tell you more. But here you can see the architecture. This is a two-story. Very peaceful courtyard. And that story is about ancient Chinese intellectuals, scholars. And Chinese intellectuals are very romantic. So even when their drinking game is very elegant, and the scholars would sit around one creek, and they will see the water. They'll put a drinking cup, normally it's a wooden drinking cup, on the float of the creek, and they will see wherever that drinking cup arrived before the intellectual, he can make a poem and he's okay. And the one who cannot finish the poem when the drinking cup arrived, he have to drink the alcohol as a kind of a punishment. Okay. And here is one tower. It's called a 分凉阁 split cold pavilion. Very beautiful. And here you can see those buildings there's a white wall, and that reminds me of the garden in South China. Okay, I'm gonna show you. Even some part is not open to the public, but you can have the feeling of the Chinese garden. Okay, I'll go this way. Oh, we're taking photos. Okay. Thank you for staying with me so long. Wow. This is fun. This is another long corridor. If you know, in the Summer Palace there's one long corridor. Here's another one, but this one is only one side open. And if today sunny day, it'll be more beautiful. So you can have the glimpse of the 5 pavilions over there, huh? Okay. In South China, because it's evergreen, the weather there, and they don't need a very vivid color to decorate the garden. So you will see the white wall and black and gray roof. But in Beijing, in the winter it's freezing. The only evergreen plant is pine tree, cypress tree. So in the Imperial Garden, they painted in the the green and the red color. Still give you a feeling of the spring and summer. And here used to be one imperial restaurant. That means in the Qing dynasty, the last emperor Puyi abdicated in 1911. So since 1911, and the 2,000 years of feudal history finished in China, and we built called the Republic of China. And since then, the last emperor Puyi still lived in the Forbidden City, but he only keeps his own title. He don't have any real power. So in 1924, he was driven out from the Forbidden City, and all those not to mention the eunuchs, even the chef lost their job because no one they can serve. So some of the chef they came out and organized by one internal affairs official. They opened one restaurant right here. It's called the Fangshan, imitation of imperial cuisine. In 1980s, the Japanese 我的考票的是吧？
对，就是需要票的10块的给10块的门票不包含，25的
好的，懂了。
或者上网买本票。
好。There's another ticket, so you can see there used to be the restaurant. But later, it's very controversial, or even today. How can you build a restaurant in a wooden architecture? I mean, culture relates. Because a restaurant, you need to cook. There's a fire flame. So they had a lot of pressure of this restaurant. You can imagine since 1924 until 5 years ago, the restaurant was all here. Even some celebrities from the world came to China and they dining right there. But later, and they had too much pressure, so the restaurant was moved out, and they go to the other side of the bank. Okay. Today I'm not. Today's like a city walk. I'll spend my whole day in downtown Beijing, so I just walk around. So right now I just made a circle of this man-made island. Try to find a way go up. It's a funny thing. Okay, you see the lady wear green hat. Okay, this is so funny. In China, because today we are like more westernized, we don't really care about our cultural. Anyone in China wear green hat, they consider his opposite is cheating, because the story is in China we said that when the two turtles get married and the husband traveled, and when he came back and he found his wife laid an egg, and he was suspicious. He said it's his egg or it's a snake's egg. So later we call this man, especially for man, and has green hat. That means his wife is cheating. But today you see even older people, they don't care. They just, it's so funny because many years ago when Sprite, Coca-Cola Sprite, and they made a lot of Sprite, the cap is green color. No one wear it. You know, no one wear it because that means green hat, that means his wife is cheating, so no one wear it. But today, no one cares about it. Okay, I will show you one empress handwriting. On this tablet. Okay. This one is a tablet. The first character is written by Emperor Qianlong of the Qing dynasty. He is a very great or controversial emperor. We'll talk about him more in the future. So, Qiongbao Chunyin, the first vertical character. Qiongbao, Qiong means jade, Dao is island, Chun is spring, Yin is shade. So, Qiongbao Chunyin, that is the most famous 8 views in Beijing. So that means about this season, the green shade of this jade island. And also you can have a closer look of those carving. You can see there's like a dragon head warriors. Very, very ornate. And on the back side, there's the emperor's poems. He wrote 14,000 poems during his whole life. Crazy emperor. Okay. And you can also see his handwriting this way. I mean, he's a Manchurian, but later Manchurian were Hanized because they have to use the Han culture to rule the Han people. So today, you cannot tell the difference between Han and Manchurian. But his handwriting was good. Much, much better than most of the Chinese people. And those are his handwriting. Okay, let's go up. So this is the best season to visit Beijing because it's not very hot. Okay. And you see this peach tree died. They will replace it. So the most valuable thing in the Chinese garden is not the treasure, not the painting, not the calligraphy, not the architecture. It's the plant and the trees, because it took years and years for the tree to grow. And when the garden was burned down, you can rebuild the garden, but the trees, there's no way. You can transplant them, but small one. Okay, I'll keep going, explore. Or used to be is all open. Right now, it's blocked. See that way? I don't know why. Maybe they try to sell more ticket, make more money, preserve the garden, or whatever. If I cannot climb up to the White Pagoda, I will find another day, and I go to the small garden on the lake bank. Okay. Wow. I'm sweating. Okay, there's a temple. Okay. Okay, I will take a moment to rest and sip water. You can see over there, that is the Coal Hill Park behind the Forbidden City. And there's a beautiful peony over there. I'll try to go there in the afternoon. Okay. I will drink some water. Thank you for staying with me for so long. And any question, just feel free to ask me. Okay. I'm just bingo. Okay. Let's okay. I had some honey water. Wow. Nice. I like garden. I like Chinese garden. I can spend the whole day here. Okay, right here. Look. Right here, you can have a close look of the animal statues on the roof. They are same as the one on the roof in the Forbidden City. because only the imperial building was allowed to use glazer tile. The first one is called 仙人奇迹 Immortal on Phoenix, followed by Dragon, Phoenix, Hamlet Horse. And you can see the dragon. They were all mythological animal. They can call the rain to prevent the fire. Because Chinese wooden architecture is made of wood. It's good for anti-earthquake, but it's not fireproof. Okay, let's take a look at this hall. And this color painting on the beam, we call the 玄子 color painting. There's a lot of circles on it, and you can also see this gold plated. And this kind of color painting dating back to 900 years ago. And the Song Dynasty, there's a one classical book about ancient Chinese architecture. And but later it's become a more stylized. It's not vivid as ancient China. So this kind of a color normally used in the temple and the court. Okay. As you climb up along this trail to the top, see the White Pagoda. Okay. Okay. Nice history. Okay, 谢谢. Thank you. So being a YouTuber is very easy to get burned out. I have to say it's really bad. If you treat your health with money, it's not worth it, right? If you treat your fun with money, it's good. So I'll try to rest when I get the opportunity. But it's a good exercise. Today in China we have a very big problem in health because our diet changed. A lot of people have diabetes and hypertension in very early age. So it's really bad. No one to blame because the world is changing. Okay, we can see here some ancient characters. Maybe Yong. This is a mountain. Those I cannot recognize. That's cultural relax. Okay. Oh. Okay, here you can see the White Pagoda. We made it. Wow. This is a Tibetan Buddhism style pagoda. In Beijing we have two of them. One was in downtown here. The other was in the west. Normally when people walking along around the pagoda, there's a one direction. Thinking that was clockwise. I'm doing the right way, but I'm Christian, so I don't really care. So just to introduce our history and culture. And you can see over there, there's another, you can call it a pavilion, but on the top of the round, it's a round shape. On the bottom layer, the eve is square, because ancient Chinese people believe heaven is round, earth is square. That's really important in the Chinese philosophy, wordology, ideology. Heaven is round, earth is square. Okay. And also you can see the dragon head gargoyle. When it rained, like the Forbidden City, water will come out from the dragon mouth. Okay. Any question, just feel free to ask me. Okay. In 1976, before I was born 2 years ago, there's an earthquake, big earthquake in China, in a city called Tangshan. In Beijing, people can feel it very strong. And there's one crack on this pagoda. There's 100,000 people died in the earthquake because that was happened in the midnight. Okay. Go this way. So here, this is the feeling of Chinese garden, and your view is surprised because of the wall. But when you come out, wow, on this platform, you will have a panoramic view of the lake and more yellow roofed buildings. And further that way, you can see a rectangular roof. That is the bell tower. Okay. Today is hazy, but it's okay because you don't see the skyscrapers. You will feel going back to the old dynasty. And you can see that way is the emperor's boat house. It's so nice. Enjoy the breeze. And also in the winter when the ice is freezing and people are skating on the ice. In the old day, the emperor would ask the Manchurian soldiers skating as exercise and drill. And this is Beijing, a fascinating city. As the city has 3,000 years history, as the capital is over 800 years. It's the capital of the last dynasty of China, the last two, Ming and Qing dynasty. Oh, you have this side of the pagoda. Okay, go down. Okay, Daniel, thank you for staying with me so long. You're my true lover. And here you can see this tree. Yeah, and sometimes in Imperial Garden, you can also see the building, wooden architecture was not painted with the color painting, no patterns on it. And that in South China, most of the architecture is not painted. And sometimes they have decoration, part decoration, but you feel the, you see the real color of the wood. Okay, and I'll be careful because this part is it's a little bit hard. I'm getting old, and you can imagine those rocks were transported from South China just for emperor. Okay. This is my favorite part, the rockery. In every garden, I had a lot of fun in the rockery. especially when I go to Suzhou. I will try to go there when I become a full-time YouTuber, get monetized, and I will travel, show you more about our beautiful country. Because now it's not easy to come to China. I mean, compared to years ago before pandemic. And this one, the first character I don't recognize, but I recognize the bird. 妙石石 is an interesting stone hole. I remember years ago, and when it's opened, and you can go down on the right, and there's like a basement. It's like a cave, go down there. But today is not a lot of places open. And you can see this kind of color painting. We call it a Su style color painting. Su stands for Suzhou City, South China. You'll see this kind of a color painting all over Summer Palace. The reason why is because you see here. And this is a classroom. And they use this kind of this layer protect the wood. It's made of, you can see linen and brick powder and tongue oil and pig blood. So this covered the wood to protect the wood. So it's not just a decoration. The real function is to protect the wood. It can last longer. Okay, go this way. See, all these are piled up. So when building Chinese garden, and there's a budget, like architecture or wood, a plant, trees and flowers, only the rockery, only the stone, no budget. Because you never know how much money will cost to make a rockery, and then that can make the emperor happy. You can see the way they pile the rock. And this is like a feeling in the wild, in the nature. And this tree is a date tree. That's the corridor we just walked through, and this way. I love this music. This music is legitimate from YouTube, and it's not like free, it's legitimate. Otherwise, you will get a copyright strike. It's so funny, once when I was in Summer Palace and walking long corridor, I recorded the background music, and later I got a problem. So I have to delete the... Wow, okay. This is good. And this kind of plant, and the very popular in Beijing, we call them, nickname is 红叶, red leaf. It's like the maple. And they will change color in the fall. And all the foliage is beautiful. Okay. Let's see here. So Chinese architecture is a wood. It's easy to build, but you have to renovate them every 5-10 years. So you can see here, and this is the color painting. You can see it's just to protect the wood. Okay, I will go in. And see West areas. That's the Chinese traditional Chinese painting of West areas. So beautiful. And you can see here is a window. They make it like the shape of a leaf. And because whenever or the dragon lady walked here, she would never get bored. You're looking out through the ship, different ship, and then you'll find a different wheel. And this is the Chinese garden, and this is the fan shaped. And this is a vase. Pentagon. And pomegranate. And see here. Oh, the beautiful city. A decayed, but the color is a magnolia and or peony. Okay. Have a rest and drink some water. Whoa. Okay. And broadcast inside no smoking because what province are you in? I'm in Beijing, and born in Beijing, raised up in Beijing, and based in Beijing. Beijing, we call it a municipality. Beijing, Shanghai, Tianjin, Chongqing, 4 municipality. Okay, here we go down and you enjoy the scenery of this. We call it the Pashan Lang Climb Mountain Corridor. It's a shelter when you climb up on the mountain. Okay. Okay, and I'll go down. Wow, nice. People have a tea ceremony there. So today, I would say 20 years ago, or my parents' generation, they only know work, and work. There's no enjoy life for them because life is hard. And those days, China is very poor. But today, Chinese people, we were like westernized, and we know life, the meaning of life is not working, and you make money and you spend money, enjoy life. And okay, I'm gonna show you ladies. 真棒，太有钱。It doesn't matter you have money or not. Sometimes it don't need the money, a lot of money to enjoy life. It's just the mood, mindset to enjoy life. And from here, I'll show you this way. And you can see the rockery was just built beside the ladder. Oh, my nephew, he just came back from the Yangzhou city. Did you see that? That's beautiful. That's a Chinese garden. Let me show you this beautiful section of climb the ladder, the steps, and the rockery just beside the rock. It's just like a paradise. This garden was built in a paradise in the nature. Okay. Okay. And you need to renovate every 5-10 years. So in South China, Suzhou, and there's a saying. It said, if you want to set up somebody, let this guy had bad luck, you encourage him to build a garden because he will become bankruptcy very soon. It's really costs a lot of money to build a garden. Okay, and also you need a lot of money to maintain the garden. So sometimes, if we look back in the history, Second Opium War, 1860, Anglo-French forces invade Beijing, the emperor fled away, and the Anglo-French forces looted the Yuan Garden, the most beautiful garden I've ever built in the whole world, in our history. And the Qing dynasty, 3 emperors, 150 years. Today, you go to Louvre Museum, Great Britain Museum, you see the treasures taken from that garden. And later, when the Qing dynasty, they tried to rebuild the garden, but there's no way. There's no way to rebuild a garden, fascinating Wonderland garden. So today, that place is a park. We can only have see the terrain of the garden, nothing left. Okay, I came back to the tablet. Now I'll go to the other side of the bank and show you a tiny, vivid, exquisite garden, this same garden. Okay, let's go. And this tree is a persimmon tree. Because the persimmon in Chinese, we call it a 柿子. 柿 also same pronunciation of things. So we wish everything as you wish. So we use persimmon. And you see a lot in the Chinese patterns of the persimmon. And I have to say, I have to admit, Chinese people are very superstitious. It's okay. And this is the peach. Wow, it's pleasant. Very pleasant. Worry free, stress free in this imperial garden in downtown Beijing. But you go outside, on subway, on streets, and traffic, it's terrible. But in this garden, then you can relax. You can enjoy our beauty. And this is the East Gate. Wow. Okay. This is Beijing, the Beihai Park, next to the Forbidden City. And outside this East Gate, there's in the hutongs, there's one cellar where they store the ice for the imperial family, royal family. And I'll try to go there, show you. Wow, come here. You can have this look back of the White Pagoda. So as I mentioned before, today's hazy. You don't see the blue sky, but also you don't see the skyline of Beijing. You don't see the skyscrapers. This is good. And you can see here this bridge. Chinese people, we use wood to build buildings. But when we build tombs or bridge, we also use brick and marble. So funny. You can see there's a window over there. I don't know why there's a window. Maybe it's a basement. Okay, I'll take you to another garden and walk along this side. So sometimes you can imagine when the emperor and the empress or the concubines, they feel very bored in the foreign city next door. And they will come to this imperial garden next door and take a cruise on a boat on the lake and have a lot of fun here. At least here's a lot of water. It can make you tranquil and it will feel easy. Oh, this big rock looks like a bear, right? So this is a Chinese rockery. So sometimes you just use your imagination. And here we can have a view of that corridor. You see, you just walk through that curved corridor that way. I made a circle of a man-made island. Here's some green duck, not Peking duck. And over there you can see some architecture with the green colored glazed tiled roof with the modern building beneath it. So that's the style. Because in ancient city like Beijing, if you want to build some modern buildings, very striking. So they try to use the traditional roof color at the top so they can match with the old capital. But this capital was destroyed a lot, not only by invaders but also by ourselves. And when I was young, first time I came here was in 1992 when I was in the second year in the middle school. When I was little teenager, we had a song about this Beihai Park. It's called 让我们荡起双桨. I don't know if this song have a copyright, so I do not dare to sing it. That means let's rolling the boat. It's about this park. That is popular in 1960s. Okay, I'll go this way, show you the garden. Outside this wall is the hutong, all the neighborhood of Beijing. And this is so nice. Very green and very clean. And the people are happy. This is the Beihai Park. And you can see here's a painting. And you can see this Tibetan Buddhism style pagoda. When I was young, it's because I'm from the countryside, the Western Mountain village in Beijing. So it's only when I was 5th grade in primary school, that is about 11, 12 years old, we were allowed to go to downtown Beijing for Springfield trip. Because we from countryside, we were, I mean, not uncivilized, but we were not used to life in the city. So parents and the teachers are afraid that we get lost. And in the old day, no modern communication. If we get lost, you have to go to the policeman. So only when we were 5th grade, we were allowed to sit on a bus, riding 2 hours to go to downtown Beijing, to go to a park like this. And we had a lot of fun. All the memories, all gone. When you're getting old, you don't have happiness. You have more problems. Okay, I'm pretty close to that garden. So in the Imperial Garden, and they not only build a big, huge one, they also like to build a garden within a garden, and the secret garden of the emperor. In this Imperial Garden, there's 2 secret gardens. Okay, I'm pretty close because peony flower. Here we come. Did you see that purple one there? those are gone. But later in the afternoon, I will go to the Jingshan Park, show you more. This is the national flower of China. Okay, this way. Oh, I see the sign here. Oh, I just mentioned before, I got a yearly pass. 100 yuan, I can come to Summer Palace and this garden and Temple Heaven. Very often, free, twice a day. It's called, oh sorry, my gimbal. And this is called Moat Pu, Hao Pu Jian. Okay, let's take a look. And you will find another style. Okay, I fix the gimbal. I fixed the gimbal first. Okay, let's go. Oh. Okay, and first we go to Hashanlang Climb Mountain Corridor. And you can see it's very plain. The dark brown color covered. Not much painting. Oh, I can feel the breeze. And this is so nice. You have a lot of stress and worries. Come to a garden, Chinese garden, and you can just 100% relax. And see the color painting. Peony flower. And there's some furniture. Oh, it's reflections. You can see. Okay, let's go this way. Wow. We can see here. Over there, on the top of that hill, is a man-made hill. There's 5 pavilions. That hill is, we call it Jingshan Park, View Hill Park. Got a nickname in Beijing. It's called Meishan Coal Hill Park, because in 1420, when the Emperor Zhu Di built the Forbidden City, they stored coal in that area, and also they used the ruins from the Mongolian palace, and they piled up, make a man-made hill, because the emperor believed that is the dragon pose of the Mongolians. They used this mountain, surprise the dragon pose of Mongolians, in case they came back. And the last emperor of the Ming Dynasty, 1644, when there's a peasant uprising in China, and when they attack the Forbidden City, and there's no way to save the country, so he just hung himself on the tree on the coal hill. Tragedy. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, I have to be careful. And here you can see this part. Okay. You can see the log. See? These logs, they adjust the water level. And so the water will go to the Forbidden City and the Tiananmen Square. You see that way? The water comes this way. It's like a moat. Oh, I got it. That's the reason why it's called a moat pool. Okay, I'll tell you the story later. It's just more than that. It's about Chinese philosophy. It's okay. And this is reminds me of another imperial garden in the Summer Palace. Very similar design. And okay, I don't know if you can see the emperor's, emperor's sofa. And this color painting is deer, Lu. In Chinese, we use a deer, symbolize illumined. They got a promotion because in ancient China, you read Confucianism and you pass examination, you become officials, bigger power, you make money, you have a happy life. That's the old way of ideal life. So Lu means promotion, illumined. So people use deer to symbolize that. Okay, let's go. First, 走您的，没事没事。Now I have overlooking this secret garden of the emperor. You can see this is a way they use the mount to separate from the lake, and so the emperor have a secret garden. Okay, let's take a look. If I'm 60 years old, I can get retired and I can use my card to come to almost every place for free. I can see the concubines are murmuring there. This is like a TV series, right? This is like a movie. Oh, so funny, because young people, they are more liberated. I mean, younger generation, they are more free. They like to express themselves. And okay, here I will show you one technique of Chinese garden. It's called Kuangjing, frame view. You can see they use the frame of this door, and even it's just not a fancy rockery outside, but you got a view like a frame. So this is a Chinese garden technique. Okay, let's go. But you see outside, you see the modern building, huh? Okay. But their shoes sold them out. It's not the high-heeled flower pot shoes. You only see up there. It's okay. You can see their shoes. It's a fake. Okay, let's follow the concubines. Let's follow the concubines. Okay. It's very popular to have this cosplay, costume play. Okay, here's the emperor's secret garden. Nice. People playing cards there. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna sit down and tell you about this story. And 好普剑. And I don't want to read the English, so you can read. I just tell you ancient Chinese philosophy. Okay, let me switch this. Okay, ancient Chinese philosophy. We have one great philosopher, probably heard of Lao Tzu, and another one called Zhuangzi. Zhuangzi series close to Lao Tzu, so we call him Lao Zhuang. And the story is one day, Zhuangzi was sitting beside a river, and he's watching the fish inside the river. And he said, he told his friends, Huizi, how happy the fish are. And the Huizi asked, "You're not the fish. How did you know the fish are happy?" And Zhuangzi said, "You're not me. How do you know? I don't know." And so this is we have a debating of Zhuangzi and Huizi about the fish. So over there, okay, I'll show you. And over there, this bridge is called the Zhiyu Qiao, Knowing Fish Bridge. There's a similar one in the Summer Palace. Okay, you can see here. And on the plaque on the top, it's called from right to left, 湖中云石. Hu is pot, teapot. Zhong is inside the middle. Yun is a cloud. Shi is mountain. And this is just like this scenery is just like a pot. That means a small world. That means the cloud and the stone in a small world. And in the summer, those lotus flowers will come out. Okay. Some Beijing people criticize about other Beijing people not civilized. This is a world we try to learn coexistence, right? And at least there's no war here. The whole world is not stable. I can walk in the interior garden, enjoy life, and other people are taking a shelter, starving. So this is our world. Try to enjoy life when you can. Okay, I'm gonna walk around this rockery because this is my favorite part.
我是要帮您拍，我等了都等不及了。哎呦，我的妈！真的，哎呦。
See, this is the way the rockery, and you can see here these rocks are not very strange. It's common, but just the color is green. So they're not very valuable, but they also have a very nice design, like the holes. So, and you will feel like you're in a mountain or in a cave. Here is where the water come. And they try to use the different shape to make some maybe animals or other strange things. And here you can have this. It's only outside. In China, we have one famous poet. He had a poem over 1,300 years ago. It's said, 不识庐山真面目，只缘身在此山中. You don't know the true face of the Lushan mountain because you are inside the mountain. Yeah, inside the garden, you don't have a view of the garden, but outside, you can have this. See the garden, the zigzag, the marble bridge, and this hole, open hole beside the water. We call it a 水榭. And also it's a good place to have a performance, like Peking Opera, or in South China, in Suzhou, in Shanghai, there's an art called Pingtan. And they played in the Shanghai or Suzhou dialect. I do not understand. But after the pandemic, I tried to learn the Shanghai dialect about 4 years. Now I can understand the Shanghai people's talking, but I cannot speak. Because my English is self-taught. And I think language is just a tool of a human being. It doesn't matter, any kind of language. As long as you have an environment, you can hear them every day like the baby. And you can learn it, you can speak it. So in the future, I decided to have a live streaming of a Chinese class. Hope you guys join me free. Okay. Now I made a circle of this. Wow, here. This is nice. You see, there's not much beauty in this garden. Just the layout of the water and the rockery beside the water. And you need a bridge, a stone archway, and a water hole. That's a garden. There's a rock over there. And here I will show you this one. And normally, this is a hole, but only in the garden they will make a rockery beside the hole. And you can see the iron paper. I don't know what's in English. That was used to fix the wooden pillar. You see, there's more because the wooden pillar supports the roof, but they're afraid the wooden pillar fell down, so they use this to fix them, to make the structure more stable. See the flower petals. Okay. Oh. Wow. I will go to another courtyard. And Chinese people, when they built the bridge, it doesn't matter a wooden bridge or marble bridge, and they make it a zigzag. See, it's like a V. And also, I told you before, Chinese people are very superstitious. They think the evil spirit, the ghost, will come out, and the ghost always goes straight. They don't know how to turn, so we make the bridge zigzag. We can keep the evil spirits away. Okay, and it's like another animal there. So it's a nice spot for picnic. And also you can see on the top of the archway, it's a stone archway with the brick carving on top. But you can see those brackets, like the wooden archway. It's used to support the roof. But Chinese people, you can use the word stubborn. We are stubborn to wooden architecture. So even when we built a brick or marble architecture, we still carve them in the wooden structure style. See that? That is a Chinese culture. Because Chinese people believe that when you build a building with wood, doesn't matter palace, it's for living people. It's for, even for emperors, for living people. In Europe, people use stone to build a church. It took a dozen years or 100 years. That's for God, for eternity. Chinese people know people will not live forever. They will die anyway. So we just use wood to build the building for people in their life. But we use brick and stone to build a tomb. That's for your soul and for afterlife. So that's different. So Chinese people also use wood, or you also use brick and stone, but for tomb, cemetery. And here is another secret garden of the emperors. You see, it's very close. "19 people inside." Okay. It's called a 画舫斋, painted boat hall or painted boat studio. And you can see, it's called a 画舫. There's a lot of painting. You see on the roof. those are not original, but the style is original. Okay. Go into Chinese building architecture. Do not step on the threshold. Always step over. That's a courtesy. Oh, kitty. There's a lot of wildcat in the parks. Forbidden City Summer Palace. 青雨灵堂. I'm not sure. Oh, those kind of vertical writing, we call them 对联, especially in Chinese New Year. And we will have the vertical and horizontal. This is the three are one pair. And normally that was in the red color. I mean, paper is red, and you can write ink or golden color on it. And it reminds me of the in the Bible when there's Passover, and God asked Israel to put they use the blood of to put on the door. Maybe it's coincidence, whatever. But Chinese people, this is our tradition to use this, write some good wishes. You can see there's a vertical scroll of landscape painting. And there's more. Okay. In this hall, usually there's some exhibition, but nothing curated. The word, I don't know. I know the word curator. Wow. Man. This is a nice spot. It's really beautiful. Okay. And so this painting is not like traditional Chinese because it's like three-dimensional. Those the missionaries saw hundreds of years ago when they preaching to China, and some of them they have a good connection with the emperor. As I mentioned before, the missionaries treat the emperor. I mean, when the emperor is sick. And also, they bring the Western science and technology and also painting to China. So there's a one word for this kind of painting. It's called a terminology or whatever. I forgot that word. So that was a perspective. This is not Chinese, but it's when the Western missionaries bring the Western painting to China, and they were like preaching the Western culture in China. So you can see this is very different with traditional Chinese painting. And also here, the windows are in different shape. My gimbal are striking today. Okay. You can see. And this is the 17 arch bridge of the Summer Palace, but also it's an imitation of the Marco Polo Bridge in Beijing. Over 700 years ago, when Kublai Khan ruled China, and he set up the grand capital in Beijing, and it's called Kembalik. It's a Turkish word, Kembalik. And that means Dadu, grand capital. And the Marco Polo traveled all the way from Italy, Venice, I think it's Venice, to Beijing, and met the Great Mongolian emperor, and traveled around China and tell you the story about China. So nice. I feel so honored walking along in the Imperial Garden, and this is the peony flower. I hope in the afternoon we can see more. real peony flower. And here is a door. They can go outside. And you can see the plum flower shaped window. And cross are in different shape. So you can imagine the emperor sit over there, and on here is a stage. They can give an emperor a performance, and the pond of the water, they go like an amplifier or whatever. They can have the sound wave will travel, come to the emperor's ear. So it's a nice spot. Wow. Here you can see on the crossbeam there's a crane. Crane in China symbolizes long life, because crane is the pet bird of immortals. Immortals always riding the crane to heaven. In China, crane symbolizes long life. And if I ask you, what's our national bird? What's the national bird of China? And it's crane. Because we have construction everywhere. Used to be, real estate or infrastructure. But right now it's slowed down because economy is slowed down. It's not good. Lots of people lose their job. But you still need to enjoy life. Because life is good and life is short. And here, and you see more. Oh, I even see a cat. Oh, lotus flower, countryside. And over there, that's a beautiful scenery from Guilin. And if you heard a tourism city called Yangshu, a small town with beautiful limestone rockery. Beautiful. I used to be in this garden. There's a lot of treasure were displayed because when the emperor he lived here, they need a lot of treasures to display in the garden. But today, some of them were in the museum, but most of them are gone. But our culture is in our spirit. So right now, the government always emphasize on it's called 文化自信, cultural confidence, because we were like a westernized and we lose a lot of culture. I mean, this is maybe called globalization. It's inevitable, but it's the truth. So lots of, because when you are trying to make more money, you don't have time to learn your culture, your language, or your identity. So sometimes you get lost. It's really important for us to know about our ancestors. And the peach symbolizes long life, longevity. And okay, there's one exhibition, and I will tell you some story. And this is called 影镜风和镜影 from right to left. Ancient Chinese read from right to left, but this is more than one, from left to right. But I have to figure out. 风 means wind, 和 means lotus, 静 means quiet, 影 shadow. And this garden was built in 1757. So you can see this is in the old day before the emperor built the garden. He needed one designer. The designer is a family heritage. That means father passed to son. All its dozen generations. They make a model of this garden. You see that, and they have the remarks on it. So this is before they built the garden. They showed the emperor's model. That was before today's computer, CAD or Sandy Max. And this is the layout, AutoCAD of this garden. And this is the old blueprint. Oh, and you see this Heide Morrison, and she's a lady. She's from Germany. She stayed in Beijing in around 1920. She is landed. She's riding bicycle, running all over Beijing. I moved. She loves our culture. She go all over China, all over Beijing or even other city, take photo. A lot of pictures was taken by Heide Morrison. Just remember her. Okay, and this painting was painted by Lang Shining. He's an Italian missionary, and he's the emperor's imperial painter. And he introduced, or maybe he's not the first one, but he introduced the Western painting to China. And also he helped the emperor to build a European garden in the Chinese garden. The garden was burned down in 1860 by the Anglo-French forces. And you can see this is the Emperor Qianlong, and when he was in the armor. This is for the parade. Because the Manchurians, they're from northeast China, they lived by hunting and fishing. So it's really important for they were born to be a soldier, like the Spartans. They were born to be a soldier. So they were not allowed to do business or learn art skills. Every Manchurian, the boy, was born to be a soldier. They would join the army. And so riding horse and archery is the must skill of any Manchurian. And so this is their book, technician book about how to archery. And this is the Emperor Guangxu. And this is the only picture of the emperor. We still not know if that one's real. But in 1889, the emperor, he wanted to reform. This is a sad story, but later, and on the top, this gentleman is Wang Tonghe, is his teacher or mentor. So when they tried to reform, but they failed. So later, this emperor was put into prison for 10 years until 1908. The dragon lady, and he died. And okay, see, in 1900, when there's a Boxers' rebellion and Boxers' movement, 8 Allied forces invaded Beijing, and the commander of the headquarters of the French army was located in this garden. Okay. Oh, this is nice. You're looking in the garden through a traditional Chinese window. Okay, let's go outside. So, Heide Morrison, a woman. I mean, I think this is the power of our culture. It's like you watch my video, you think you like our culture. And wow, sit here, watching the koi. And you can just relax, worry free. Okay, let's go. Beautiful. And the wind on the ship waves and round. Well, I would say moon. It just don't say it's a round shape. That's a moon. That's the Chinese people's romance. And the book, Chinese book, because this book can change your life. Okay, let's go. Those ladies talk about when they were young, they work very hard. But today they can relax.
按 Q 了，看吧。好，娜娜，用这小扇子挡一下阳光，好不好？挡一下阳光。
Okay, Daniel, thank you for staying with me so long. I don't know, maybe over 1 hour. Okay, I will go further to the bank. I'm still okay because I'm used to be a guide. I work much harder than this used to be. But today, because it's not easy for foreigners to travel to China, and you can go, but not as easy as before. So I'm getting old. I don't want to repeat my work over again. So I just found there's another way to introduce our culture, but not one by one, or 1 to 1. This is 1 to infinity. So there's no limit for people watching my video or live streaming. So I choose to become a YouTuber. And I have to say this is hard, but it's interesting, it's challenging, very challenging. Okay, and this is the name of this garden, 好普建 moat pool. And over there, that's the Emperor's boat house. And we saw that from the mountain. Very peaceful garden in downtown Beijing. You can listen to the bird. You never realize that you are in the center of Beijing. Okay. I'll go to the bank. It's a good exercise for me. I don't like sports. Okay. This is a huge garden. Okay. Okay, that's the Red Pagoda. And also, I'm reading a book. That book is how can I say the word? It's a copy of an ancient book, just a photograph of an ancient book. That means that was written in ancient Chinese. It's more complicated than traditional Chinese. Traditional Chinese is still in Taiwan, Hong Kong, but even more complicated than that. So I have to guess. And that book is about Yuan Dynasty when Mongolians ruled China. You can see it's so funny because when Kublai Khan ordered to build the capital in Beijing, the palace, they ordered to plant grass on the courtyard in the palace, because Mongolians they are from the grassland. But they try to make Han people to plant grass or herding. But later they realized that they have to use our Han people's culture to rule us, and also you have to emphasize on agriculture, because China is an agricultural country. So that book is called 农桑集要, agriculture and mulberry, because farming is you plant every kind of crop, but weaving, I mean the silk, you need the mulberry and the silkworm. So that book is about the silkworm. It's very interesting, and when I learned, also I have to try to guess. Okay, and here we'll go to a temple, and it's not open to the public, but it's very important in ancient China, because agricultural farming is one side. They provide food for us. I mean, your meal, and the silkworm, they can produce cocoons to us, and later people can make silk, so we can dress up. And here is the only silkworm altar, silkworm temple in Beijing. I can only find a couple of old pictures of this place, because it's never open to the public. Okay, and this is this temple. Because silkworm is important, it's not only in the old dynasty China export the silk and porcelain to other country, make money, but also this is important for Chinese people, because silk is we were called China porcelain, but the silk is also important. You can see on the top, on the right is the Manchurian. It's the Manchurian character. On the left is the Xian Can Tan. Xian means before. Can is the silkworm, Can's altar. And here used to be a kindergarten. I saw some people inside. Yeah, there used to be a kindergarten here. But the emperor is in the Forbidden City, and the emperor was it's like a man is in charge of farming, and a woman is in charge of weaving. So the empress they would take care of the ceremony of worshiping the silkworm. Oh, I can feel the breeze, and you can see there's a green colored glaze tile on the roof. Okay, and I will show you one exquisite garden, the most beautiful garden in this imperial garden. And later I will take a break and have lunch. In the afternoon I will go to the Cohill Park and show you the national flower, peony. And so that garden was very close. And after that I will take a break. It's okay. I can handle that. Not burn out. I'm burning, but not out. It's okay. Burning calorie. It's good. Thank you, Daniel. Accompany all the way. Because if no one is watching my live streaming, I still need to talk. Practicing my English self-taught. I just listen to the radio. Hours. 3 hours a day. Later I found I can speak. That's good. So today I'm still listening to the news every day. When I have time and reading books about the Chinese culture and trying to show you more about the culture. But if you really want to learn the culture, you have to learn the language first. Otherwise, you just learn the superficial. But it's hard. I mean, it's really hard. Like when I went to Shanghai a couple of times, but I don't know the Shanghai culture. It's very different with Beijing culture. So, but when you know that, when you know the Shanghai people, they're so funny. And but if you learn a language, it's also interesting. That's another rockery. You see here, this waters all the way from northwest Beijing, from Summer Palace all the way here. And this is called the Beihai Park, North Sea. And outside is the Beihai. Beihai is called the Back Sea. And there's one sports school, it's called the Shichahai Sports School. It's where Jet Li studied. Okay. Oh, now I can feel the breeze. Awesome. Hazy day, but you see the White Pagoda. I will tell you a story. It's about the case size. In ancient China, in the later Qing dynasty, when the dynasty almost collapsed, we lose the Opium War, and the capital was invaded, and the garden was burned down or looted. And later, some people realized we have to learn from the West. And later, there's one movement called the Westernization movement. Same thing like Deng Xiaoping made the opening up policy in 1978 when I was born. Same thing, learn from the West. But how can you convince the ruler? Those days, the Dragon Lady, she ruled China for 48 years. How can you convince her to build a railway? Because the people said that the railway will destroy the feng shui of China. And it's bad. But how can you convince she to allow to build a railway in China? So one official, he's very famous, and he was also on the cover of the Time magazine. His name is Li Hongzhang, and they built a small railway. It's a French locomotive from that way, the west, all the way to the garden over there. So every day when Dragon Lady finished her work, she would take the little train, all the way to this garden and relax in the garden. And later she said, okay, the train is good, so you can build the railway in China. So they built a railway in central China and South China, and to transport the coal to the iron factory. So China is a country, do not blame the Communist Party. I used to do that, but this is our history for thousands of years. It's running different with the democratic country. So this is said when you're in Rome, do as Romans do. So same thing. For thousands of years, you cannot change the country overnight. It's too hard. Okay, here is the private garden. Empress's secret garden, and it's lunchtime, not crowded. And it's called Jing Xin Zhai, from right to left. Jing, quiet, calm, Xin, heart, Zhai studio. So I hope you and me, we go inside this garden, even if it's crowded with tourists, we can calm down and we can get the tranquil. Okay, let's go. You can imagine you are the only one in this garden. This garden was built just for you to cultivate your heart and your mind. And those characters are Jing, Qing, Zhai. Jing is a mirror, Qing is clear. Okay, the layout is similar to the painting studio. And you can see the floor was paved with brick. And not fancy painting, just a white wall. And this side. And those patterns are from the traditional classical guidebook, the Bible of ancient Chinese construction, color painting. And here, okay, I'll come back. And this side, Chinese garden, we have another technique, it's called Yi Jing, surprise view. It's like here, it's very compressed. The wall on both sides even have window, it's a blind window. But when you go through this corridor, and you will be surprised. Wow! This is a Chinese garden. This is art. Like, what can I say? Expectation management. They manage your expectation, surprise it, and later release it. And you can see there's some antiques. The reflection, you cannot see the porcelain and the Buddha statue. Okay, we'll go this way. This is the Emperor's secret garden. Okay. Remember, every garden there's a model before they show the emperor. Here is a pond. It's called Bao Su Shu. This is the emperor's study where he read books. All those names are from ancient classicals. See some, just reflection. Okay. Okay. And this one is called Qin Yun Zhai. Yun Qin Zhai. Melody Zither Studio is where the emperor would play zither. Chinese zither is called guqin. Okay, let's see if there's one. Yeah. Porcelain and bamboo fan. And here, see the peach similar to long life. And here, that way. On that one, horizontal music instrument on the table is a guqin. It's very beautiful. And you can search for Chinese ancient guqin or zither. It's really beautiful. Okay. Gimbal. And at the door, behind the door, is another pretty courtyard. See, just a bunch of bamboo and a few rocks. and you will have a feeling of the Chinese garden. This part you don't need to explain. You just watch it. Oh, sorry. Okay. See? Beautiful. Friends from overseas. Maybe, I don't know, speak Italian, whatever. You go this way. Chinese garden is a place that can heal your wound. Beautiful. All those rocks are from South China. Only the emperor could afford this kind of luxury. And this is the emperor's tea house. And that's the corridor. This is a garden from South China. I mean the style. And this is another corridor. We call it a climbing mountain corridor because we are going up. Oh. This is so nice. And this is the emperor's studio, where he would write a calligraphy or paint some Chinese painting. Now, from here, we can see Okay, another concubine. I think those young people give a special flavor to the imperial garden. So interesting. Even it's pretending, but it's so fun. Okay, as I mentioned before, young people are more liberated. And this part is blocked, but you can see you can walk all the way up with some maple here. Okay, I have to be careful. Okay. But this part is not opened. It will be a lot of fun if you can go inside. So pretty. Wow. For you, maybe it's just exquisite. Wow, there's this costume is from Ming Dynasty. Ming was before the Qing. This Ming is ruler is the Han. And you can see the costume is different with the Manchurian. This is the hierarchy official of the Ming Dynasty. Okay, and also you see here on the floor was paved with cobbles. The bat symbolizes happenings in China. So in some theme park in China, there's a service. That means you can dress up like those and have a tour of the place. I bought one scholar costume, but I do not dare to dress them up. maybe one day I will dress up like an ancient Chinese philosopher and show you around. Think bold. That's before your dream come true. You have to think bold. There's a Chinese company called Insta360. They make 哦，师傅，这儿不能抽烟，这是古建筑。对对对。I just remind people no smoking here because of all the wooden architecture. And here, this one is a pavilion team, and you can imagine on the night, you just the emperor and the concubine sit up there and have a cup of tea, have some dim sum, and watch the moon. This is so beautiful. And this hall, you can see it's also served like a lock. Okay, we go this way. On this wooden bridge. Because Chinese garden is a kind of art. 1980s, when the Metropolitan Museum, they want to build one corner with the Chinese architecture. It's called Mingxuan. There's a Chinese garden master. He went to the United States, and in New York, they built that Mingxuan. And you can see, did you see that over there? The water just flow down. That's rock. That means that they built a open hole on the lock, and you can listen to the singing of the water. And this is really beautiful. Wow. Wow. This is so beautiful. Even without lotus flower. So this is a place that you can just relax. I don't know if there's a old day. My imagination is if there's a water going down from that cave, that would be perfect. Today it's okay, they can do that with a pump, but in the old day, it's really hard. It doesn't mean impossible. Everything's impossible if the emperor wants. But see this corridor.
原来是可以上的，就刚开的时候可以上去。你没来过这儿吗？
Beautiful moon gate. Wow, with the maple, the color is so beautiful. Okay, take a look at this one. This rock. And I mean, this is not the best quality, but it's really nice because this kind of rock, Taihu rock, you have a lot of holes. More holes is better. This is a magnolia, the flower gone. Wow. This is so pretty. This is Emperor's Secret Garden. More concubines. Emperors here. See the yellow color? Got this phone, so the service is not very good. I see the bright yellow color, the silk cushion. Only the emperor could use the bright yellow color. Sorry. And those beautiful porcelain with the pattern of a butterfly. one is we call the Bailuzhen 100 deer jar. So there's over 100 deers on the jar. And this is a bonsai flower pot made of gemstone. It's a peach. You can see that tiny green jade peach. It's the jade flower. Another pair. Used to be it's open. This door is open, but okay, you can see the emperor's throne. That little animal you see is made of clothing, and it have a horn on the head, like a unicorn. He can speak 8 kinds of language, walks 1,000 miles a day, and he symbolizes the emperor is wise. From here you can see outside the door is the man-made hill. Now you can have a glimpse of this secret garden. This is the one pair of clothesnail, and this peach flower and the emperor's throne covered with bright yellow, and the elephant on the stand, and also in front there's a dragon patterned we call the xiangting fragrance pavilion, because they will burn incense inside when the emperors are here. Okay, this looks like they have a lamp. Okay. Okay, this is the Emperor's Secret Garden. Okay. Confucius side. 有朋自远方来，不亦乐乎 ？Friends from far away, how enjoyable! So, welcome to China. Welcome to know about us, know about our culture. Okay, thank you, Daniel. Company all the way from me. Thank you. Bye bye. See you guys. In the afternoon, I will go to the Jingshan Park to have a panoramic view of the Forbidden City and show you the peony flower, the Chinese national flower. See you next time. Bye bye.